We are back finishing up talking about eclipses, and so far we described how lunar eclipses happen and what it would look like, and then solar eclipses, how they happen. And it's the moon passing in front of the sun, so it blocks the sun from us. And I talked about a little bit about all the cool stuff that happens, and I read from the book. The colors getting vibrant, the eclipse wind that picks up, it gets colder, you have the shadow bands shimmering on the ground, the shadows turn into smiles, and all that stuff is really cool. And here are some pictures from when I was there. I went to China, like I said, to see an eclipse. We're at the top of this mountain. They have a big reservoir up there, and they had it roped off and sectioned off for people to watch the eclipse. Now, all that other stuff you're fine looking at. If you actually want to look at the sun for the eclipse, you need protection for your eyes because you're looking at the sun. It can be something simple like eclipse shades like these, which is what I had. Or it could be like a welding glasses, something like that. Sunglasses are not enough. The sun is way too strong. Okay, these are very dark. If you put these on during the daytime and don't look at the sun, you can't see anything. Okay, they're that black. Like I said, the best thing I think is something that we didn't really talk about and the book didn't describe, and it's what's called a diamond ring. And I have a little video that I'll show you. It's not the best. It was taken by the leader of our trip. And these are a couple pictures that I took. You can see the color change a little bit here. But this video is, like I said, was taken by the leader of our trip, and it's not a bad video. It's not the best video. But you can see a little bit of this diamond ring. So I'll show it, the first part, and then I'll pause it, and I'll fast forward to the end so we can see what the final thing. So we have the sun, and it's just starting to form.
Really
Ignore the people screaming.
Come on, baby!
Okay, so that was the start of the eclipse, and basically you saw again the sun, and it was covered up by this black disk that is the moon moving in between the Earth and the sun. And that's not kind of as impressive. It's incredibly impressive, but you're having to wear those glasses, and this camera has one of those solar shades on it as well, which is why it doesn't look all that great, because it's going through a big filter to make sure that the camera doesn't blow up. So it has that on, but your eyes are working through that, so it's not the best, but it's amazing. Then after it's done here, after it's gone to this part, you can take your glasses off, you can look around at all the colors, you can see everything, you can see actually the shadow sweeping. We were on the top of the mountain, so we could look and see the shadow then sweeping across the rest of the countryside, and it's moving incredibly fast as it sweeps away across the countryside, making that track that you saw. So this went on for a long time. I went to one that was the longest, and I think it was a couple thousand years, that we were going to see about 6 minutes long. So I'm going to kind of fast forward a little bit here. Let me go back a little bit. So it kind of looks like he zoomed in a little bit. You see the same kind of thing. We had some clouds that came over. Again, the video isn't that great. I'm going to zoom ahead to the second diamond ring, and that's much better. And they call it a diamond ring because you're going to see this ring, and then it's going to be a bright part, the diamond there. And the second one is the most impressive one, because your eyes are totally adjusted to the darkness. You don't have your sunshades on anymore. Your eyes have dilated. You're used to the darkness. And when it pops out, it's truly amazing. Like I said, it's one of the most amazing things that you'll ever see in your lifetime. Let me go ahead just a slight bit more somewhere in here, and it's going to get to it pretty quickly, I think. There's guys with computers that knew the exact second to millisecond that it was going to happen. That was pretty impressive.
Prominence. Yeah, prominence. Come back. Let me diamond ring. Go!
And then he took down the camera right away again so the sun didn't destroy the camera. But that second diamond ring is truly amazing. Like I said, it's one of the most amazing things you'll ever see in your lifetime if you have a chance to see one. So I definitely encourage everyone to go and try to see one of these things. They are amazing. It's worth spending lots of money to go see one. You may not even have to spend lots of money to go see one, because there actually is one coming to North America in a little while. And I'll show you that eclipse table after we go through this. Well, why don't we have an eclipse every full and new moon? Okay, what I just showed you, the moon is going around the sun like this. So you'd think, okay, if it's a new moon, well, it's going to make a shadow on the Earth, and we have a solar eclipse. And then it goes around this side, it goes in the Earth's shadow, full moon, eclipse. So why don't we have an eclipse? Why don't we have them twice a month? Why are they so rare? It's because the moon's orbit is tilted at a 5-degree angle. Okay, the moon is not going around the Earth in the same plane as the sun is. So this picture shows it. Let me do a really exaggerated view of it. Here's the sun. Here's the Earth. I'm going to do a really exaggerated. Mine's going to be more than 5 degrees. So I'm going to say, here's the moon going around. Okay, so the moon cruising around. So normally, it's up here. If I change my colors, so normally the shadow is going to be too low, or maybe the moon's too high. Okay, so that's the umbra that I just drew on there. So normally the shadow is not going to hit to make an eclipse. It's going to be very rare that it actually lines up just right to make an eclipse. So when are there going to be some other ones? Here's a table of some future solar eclipses. Really what you're looking for is kind of a total eclipse. Hybrid, that just means it's annular or total, depending on where you are. Okay, what does annular mean? Annular happens when the moon is fairly close to the Earth, so near the perihelion phase, so that it doesn't completely block the sun. You'll have basically the sun with a big black hole in the middle, essentially. Okay, the moon's circle is smaller than the sun's. So it's kind of cool, but not all that cool. Okay, really it's not anything to really worry about. Partial one, again, isn't really much to worry about. It's only covering part. All that cool stuff that I described doesn't happen. So the hybrid is kind of annular total. So it's hybrid for most places, only total for a few people. Okay, so in this case, Atlantic Ocean and Central Africa are the only places where it's going to be total. So you're looking for a total one, like this one. It's going to last for 2 minutes 47 seconds. Not in US. Okay, go to the next one. Total one here. Nope. Go to the next one. Annual enter, don't really care. Go to total one here. Yes, finally North America. Okay, so you will actually have a good chance to see a total solar eclipse. August 21st, 2017. It's not going to be very long, only 2 minutes and 40 seconds, but it's in the US. You might have to drive a couple hours north to see it, but it'll be well worth doing, because like I said, it's one of the most amazing experiences you'll ever have. And if you miss it then, well, when's the next time in the United States that you'll be able to see it? Kind of cruising down the list here. 2024, probably Central US in 2024. So you're going to have to wait a long time again. The next one after that, you're not going to see a total one. I think you're not even going to see another total one until after 2030. So they are very rare to see one. And again, they're so rare to see because the moon's shadow is so small. It only covers a little bit of the Earth. So they're very hard to see. Lunar eclipses, though, way easier to see, because anybody on the dark half of the Earth can see a lunar eclipse. So the Americas, there you go, total eclipse, 2014, April 15th. An hour and 18 minutes is going to be totality. So the eclipse duration, 3 hours, 35 minutes, but complete totality for an hour and 18 minutes. Okay, next one, then you got October 8th for the Americas. Okay, April 4th, 2015. Okay, so you can see lots of dates for lunar eclipses. You're so much more likely to see a lunar eclipse because the Earth's shadow is so much bigger, and it's easier for the moon to get into the shadow of the Earth. that's it for eclipses.